Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to Mr. Akusha and my fellow classmates. Today, our group will be presenting to you guys about our case, Jones v. PADAVATTON, 1969, Volume 1, WLR, page 328. So, in this short video, we'll be focusing on quite a few elements. First, the summary of the case, the parties that involved, the right and issue of related parties, the issues and problem that has been raised, the element of control, and of course, the last, the solution of the case.
Today I want to talk about summary of law case. So this case tells about an exchange between mother Mr. Jones and her daughter Mrs. PADAVATTON, and one which is truly deplorable. The focus of contrast between the two parties show up to be comparatively small, and it is troubling that they seem not settle their contrast genuinely and want to avoid the bitterness while expense which is included in this debate carry as distance and discord. In fact, the mother and daughter come from Trinidad and show up to be of East Indian descent. The daughter name is PADAVATTON, who had been married with Mr. Yat and then divorced, was living in Washington, United States, and was worked at a satisfactory salary. She had one child, and child is boy called Tommy by her marriage. PADAVATTON was made suggestion that she might go to England and arrange to read for the bar. If she got to be a qualified barrister, point to go to Trinidad and she should practice as a lawyer there. She received an allowance from her mother as much as $200 a month. There is a debate as to which of two parties started the talk, but the daughter gave proof exceptionally emphatically, suggesting that it was her mother's talk. There is no proof that the mother began away her right to arrange of her houses or to remove her daughter whatever point she wished to do so. The proof appears that all the course of action in connection to the houses were very exceptionally unclear and made without legally binding aims.
Good morning, everyone. My name is ANITA LUDAI MEROM. We want to talk about parties involved in case Jones v. PADAVATTON. Okay, the case of Jones v. PADAVATTON concerns whether or not a legally enforceable contract existed between the parties. In this case, a mother and daughter. The judgment of Salmon L.J. and Fenton Kingston L.J., although reaching the same conclusions, have very different reasoning. Salmon L.J. considered that two main factors needed to be addressed: whether or not the party has intended a legally binding contract, and whether the term of the contract was sufficient to be legally enforceable. Okay. The English law operates generally on an objective approach based on what a reasonable person in the positions of the parties would have intended. Okay, Salmon L.J. followed this approach in his judgment, stating it is presumptions of fact that when arrangements are made between family members, they are not intended to create a legal relationship, but are rather based on mutual ties of trust and affections. Okay, the presumption was established by Atkin L.J. in his explanations of the case Balfour v. Balfour and is cited by Salmon L.J. However, he does go on to observe that in some circumstance, just because a contracting party is unlikely to extend his pounds of flesh does not mean he has no legal right to. I consider that the principle illustrated by Balfour v. Balfour, although fundamental for many cases, may not be so relevant considering the circumstance of these cases. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I am Nurul AMNI. I will share about the issues and problem that has been raised. This case law is about the daughter argued about the agreement with her mother amounted to a legally binding contract and then she should be allowed to persist in employment of the house. She declared there had been a purpose to create legal relations and she had provided consideration for her mother's maintenance by studying for the bar. The mother argued as it was a merely an informal family arrangement only and no purpose to do this as law case. Therefore, it was allowed to recover possession of the house. Even if there was an enforceable contract, she declared the terms of the arrangement were too unclear for the court to enforce. Thank you.
The right element and duty of related parties. The case law about daughter agreed the agreement with her mother. The right and duty. The related parties' mother, his mother offered a house to her son to continue his study. The element of contract that involved case in the Jones v. PADAVATTON agreement, the agreement relating to the house as well as other facilities provided by mother to her child will be revoked if her child does not continue his study in the field of law. Her mother wants her son to continue his study until he succeeds in the field of law.
Last but not least, the solution of the case. The mother's appeal was successful and her position was granted. This assumption may be refuted, but the lack of formality with regard of the agreement between the mother and the daughter strongly indicate that there was no such intention and that the daughter had no defense when the mother claimed the house. There was also a presumption that cohabitants did not intend to create the enforceable contractual between themselves. Fenton Atkinson Elder said, at the time when the first arrangement was made, the mother and the daughter was very close. I am satisfied that neither party intended to enter legally binding contract at that time. The daughter was unable to establish that the mother had contract to let her stay in the house until she finished her bar studies. I think that's all for today. Thank you.